So I thought that I would show you how to crochet ribbing. So this is great for the edging of jumpers, tops, any kind of crochet projects where you've got an edge that you want to make look nice and finished. So this is my current project that I am working on. It's a little sleeveless jumper, and I've done my ribbing along the bottom and the armholes, but I thought I would take this opportunity to show you how I'm going to do it along the neck, and you can take this principle and apply it to any of your edges. So I'm using a paint box cotton yarn for this project, but the same principle would apply for whatever it is you're doing. And I'm also using a 4mm crochet hook, but just continue using whatever size hook you've used for the rest of your project. So with that, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do with your project is turn it inside out. So you want to make sure that you're working into the back of your project. So this is what it looks like on the inside of the ribbing. So you can see you get these little stitches along your project. And this is what the finished edge on the outside looks like. It's much more consistent, and you don't get these kind of little individual pieces of yarn. So you want to make sure that you're working into the back and you've turned your project inside out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn and pull it out. And then I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm leaving a decent length of tails. I'm going to be sewing these in at the end. But I've made my slip knot, and if you don't know how to do that, I've got a little how-to video which I will link to up here. I'm then going to take my hook and I'm going to pop it into the back, centre back of the neck. So I want my seam to kind of be essentially hidden by my hair. I want it to be in the least visible spot of my project. So I'm going to pop my hook into the centre of the back of the neck, and then I'm going to pop the slip knot onto my hook and tighten it up. So here we've got our slip knot on our hook. We're going to pull it through the stitch, and I'm going to chain 7 for my ribbon. Now you might want to do more or less chains depending on what part of your project you want the ribbon to be on. For example, my armholes, I only did 5 chains, but for the bottom I also did a slightly more chains to make a chunkier rib. The more chains, chunkier rib, less chains, smaller rib. But I think for a neck I want it to be fairly chunky, so I'm going to do 7 chains. Now to do a chain, we're going to hold our hook and our yarn. We're going to bring our hook forward, catch the yarn with the hook, and then we're going to pull that yarn through the loop on the hook. And that's 1 chain. So we're going to do that again. Catch the yarn, pull it through the loop on the hook, and that's our 2nd chain. I'm now going to do that 5 more times until I've got 7 in total. Okay, there's our 7 chains. So now I'm going to single crochet back the way I came, and I'm going to be doing 6 single crochets because I'm going to ignore this first stitch, this first chain here. We're not going to be single crocheting into that, we're going to be doing it in the next one along. And when I say single crochet, this is using US terminology. So if you were using UK terminology, that would be a double crochet. So to do that, I'm going to pop my hook into the stitch, into the chain. I'm going to catch the yarn and I'm going to put it through the chain only. Now that leaves us with 2 loops on our hook. So I'm going to catch the yarn again. I'm going to pull it through everything on the hook. Those 2 loops, I'm going to pull that yarn through those. And that is how we do a single crochet. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to pop my hook into the next chain stitch. And then I'm going to catch the yarn. I'm going to put it through the chain, leaving 2 loops on my hook. And then I'm going to catch the yarn and pull through both loops on the hook at the same time. And I'm going to continue that all the way down my chains until I've got 6 single crochets in total. Okay, so that is our first row complete. And what we're going to do now is we're going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches of the neck. So to slip stitch, we're going to pop our hook into that next space. We're going to catch the yarn and we're going to pull it through our stitch, and then we're going to take that first loop on the hook and pull it through the second. Okay, and I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to pop my hook into the next stitch, catch the yarn, pull it through the stitch, leaving 2 loops on the hook, and then I'm going to catch that first loop and pull it through the second. And now we're going to turn our work, and we are working back up along that row of single crochets that we did. But in order to create the edging, to create these kind of ribs along it, we're going to be working into the back loop of our single crochet only. Okay, so to do that, and making sure you don't work into your slip stitches. You don't want to be working into those, only the single crochets. So into our first single crochet, we're going to pop our hook to the back loop only. And then we're going to do our single crochet. So we catch the yarn, pull it through that loop, leaving 2 loops on the hook, and then catch the yarn, pull it through both loops on the hook. And we're going to continue that all the way up till we've got 6 single crochets into the back loop only. Great, so we've completed that, and now we're going to be working back down our collar. So I'm going to chain 1, which enables me to turn my work, and then I'm going to be working 6 single crochets back down where we've come from before, working into the back loop only, and that's going to be consistent throughout this entire process. You're working into the back loop only, so making sure you don't work into the chain, you work into that first single crochet, into the back loop, catch the yarn, put it through, do our single crochets, and we've got 6 of these in total. And then we're going to slip stitch 2, so 1 slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. And then we can turn our work and single crochet in those back loops, 6 back loops up again. And you are going to continue that essentially for the remainder of your collar. So we're doing our 6 single crochets into the back loop up, we're chaining 1, and then we're doing 6 single crochets into the back loop back down, slip stitch 2, and step and repeat until you get to the end. So I'm going to continue with this now, and I will meet you back here at the bit at the end. So I've just completed my whole collar, and as you can see, that goes all the way around. So to connect our 2 parts of the collar, I am just going to chain 1, and then I'm going to flip my work, working back the way we come as previous, and I'm just going to pop my hook into the beginning chain that we worked into, and then again through the back loop of our single crochet stitches of the other half, like so. And I'm just going to slip stitch like so. And I'm just going to do that all the way down. So popping my hook in, into the single crochet, and then slip stitching through. And there we have it. So I'm just going to pull up a loop now, cut off a tail, like so, and there we have our collar. So this is the obviously the reverse side of my vest. So what I can do now to finish it off is turn it the right way, and there you can see our finished edge and our finished collar with our armholes. So I will be writing up and making a full video for this pattern. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But in the meantime, let me know what you think. And if you make this for yourself, please let me know. I'd love to see your results. Thanks very much.